So this lighting is either terrible or magnificent. I can't tell because I am blinded by the ring light. So welcome. We are going to talk today because I was recently inspired after watching the Framing Britney Spears documentary that Hulu has just recently released. Or maybe it's not new, I don't know, maybe I'm just late to the party, whatever. So basically watching this whole documentary about Britney Spears and her situation, you know, about the conservatorship, about the Free Britney movement, even about her upbringing, and honestly I've watched a bunch of other videos explaining it on YouTube and stuff. I don't know, I just found the situation extremely fascinating. So I consider myself pretty well versed on the topic, and I don't know, the whole situation just really reminded me of when I was growing up and being able to witness the kind of criticism and just backlash that Britney Spears got, and you know, Miley Cyrus got too, or like the people that come to mind, specifically about their feminine sexual expression, that I just wanted to talk about it because it was just fascinating to me that this is still such a controversial topic to people. I mean, the entire world just really enjoys speculating or comment on a young female sexuality or sexual expression, but from my own personal experience, just to see that there is still to this day such a stigma around feminine sexual expression, specifically in women's right to exercise it, I just think it's worth diving into this a little bit deeper and just talking about how we can end this type of stigma and why we even should, because it doesn't make sense to me. First, let me just say I can tell right away that others' infatuation with other feminine sexual expression just seems to show a lot about them and their perspective and their own curiosities or limitations about sexuality and sexual expression. You know, we project a lot freaking more than we think we do. So why would sexuality be any different? Because it appears that almost all of these perspectives against sexual expression have one thing in common, which is misogynistic roots, specifically implying that female sexuality is inherently wrong unless controlled or monitored by society and or her man. Which that in itself implies that a woman can't control herself or like be responsible for herself or something. I don't know, like it's kind of fucked, like it doesn't make sense. And like I was saying earlier, misunderstanding healthy acts of sexual expression not only showcases a deep-rooted fear or feeling of a threat that men or other women might have toward the inherent power that feminine sexuality holds, but then again it also just shows a general need that we have as humans sometimes to control things that are chaotic in our eyes. And no, in all of this I am not talking about sexual exploitation, which that is a problem completely in itself on the different end of the spectrum and not what we are talking about in this video. And also note that I do agree to some extent that there should be personal or legal control sometimes when it comes to sexual expression, when it, you know, involves morality at hand here. But we do need to recognize when it becomes, you know, a matter of you demanding for other people to abide by your standards of what you think appropriate sexual expression should be. For example, if you don't want to pose sexy on Instagram, cool, don't. Why do you care if Kim Kardashian does though? And don't tell me it's because you don't want your kids to see it. Because I'm sorry, sex is a massive part of life and culture in general, society, and that is never going to change. So are you really doing your children any favors by not talking about this kind of thing or explaining the depth and complexities that come with sexuality and sexual expression? Or, now hear me out, do your feelings actually showcase that maybe you don't understand it completely yourself and possibly were shamed for any opportunities that you had to experience or express it? So now it just seems like something wrong to do or even to discuss. The shame that we have around sexual expression shows up because sexual expression has been controlled and exploited by people who were threatened by it in the first place. Remember that, and in my opinion, the only solution to this problem is to take back that power and control for yourself and to be empowered by yourself completely in all parts and facets. A counter argument that I heard was that society is over-sexualized as it is, but again, I'm here to ask, like, what are you expecting here? Are your judgments coming from celebrities, these literal performers that are wearing stage outfits to catch the attention of the audience? Because I mean, yeah, that's meant to be a little erotic for entertainment purposes, literally, for art. It's beauty. Think of all the Greek sculptures that are butt-ass naked. Like, what do you think the point of that was? There is an inherent beauty in eroticism and in this sexual nature that we all just innately have within us, that we all are, you know, we all have our own degree of sexiness. We have to be the one to control this narrative. Like I said, the wrong people can get their hands on sexuality and control it and literally use it on the wrong people, and that is an entirely different video. But the other aspect of that is owning that power for yourself so nobody else can take it from you. They can't control you because you don't let them, because you've taken that wild force within you that won't be tamed, and you've let it be just that, which is that feminine energy. And you could say this is also about respect too, but I have to ask, why does having sex with who you want and posting flattering pictures of your body because you're proud of it automatically mean you disrespect yourself? Because in my experience, I've truly never really respected myself until I accepted myself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and sexually. Even though sexuality is a primal quality of the human condition, it is an imperative part of our nature. And it's really not doing us any good to keep tiptoeing around the subject or acting like the human body can't be appreciated in its innate raw form. And again, healthy boundaries for everything. Of course, everything in moderation. I'm not an idiot here. Please don't paint me to be, because I want the best for you, and I truly believe that the best for you, me, and all of us around here is to understand that people expressing themselves in a sexual way helps them feel beautiful in a sense. It helps them feel authentic and raw to a part of them that is kind of dirty in society's eyes. But is it really bad dirty, or is that just, you know, a layer of perception that we honestly should peel back and peel off? Because what does that serve us other than just pure judgment, really, towards something that we already always have to deal with? I hate to break it to you guys, but sex and sexual expression is why you are here right now. Like, if that wasn't a thing, I'm sorry, but like, it's just not possible. So I just wanted to talk about it because it's about time we have this conversation about this kind of stuff, about healthy sexual expression, and about how you're better off understanding it for yourself and what you can do for yourself rather than trying to control others in an unconscious attempt to try to control and understand yourself and your own issues you've got going on. Because think about it and be honest with yourself here. What harm does it really do to you or even this person in question? You know, let's say it's that one girl you know that has sex with whoever she wants to, even when she's not in a relationship with them. Or maybe she's wearing something that shows off her chest, Lord forbid. You know, I would go as far as to say is there's a part of you that's actually deeply fascinated with that energy, and you actually feel deeply threatened by that fascination, and that's why you're trying to suppress that feeling and what you feel is evoking that feeling, which is her. Because again, this brings up threats. This brings up threats not only to your ego, you know, if this is a different person that, you know, could take away your man or woman's or whatever, and this also brings threats to your own personal sense of sexual energy if you're disconnected to it. You know, it all kind of shows different dimensions of sexual energy and eroticism and how you can kind of play with these deeper, more intense emotions and, you know, use them for more than just sexual energy, you know, just than having sex. You can use it for art, for beautiful spiritual practices. I mean, I'm not even going to get into it because I'm not even prepared for that conversation right now, but there's just so many other uses of this and of this, like I just said, sexual expression, erotic energy, that if we can get past this stigma that we have around it in general, especially around women, because I'm telling you right now, women are the freaking powerhouses when it comes to being able to get the most out of this energy, I think. In my opinion, I'm a woman, obviously, so maybe that's my biased 2 cents, but I'm here to say it's just showing a more primal part of you that if you work with that energy, you are going to find some extreme personal power. And that's really all the explanation you need if you actually are willing to open that door and dive into it. And if you're not, I hope you're willing to at least ask yourself why you're not willing to, and, you know, be honest with yourself in that regard, because that shouldn't be anybody else's problem at the very least. But if you're curious, astrologically, this all ties into the energy of Pluto and the 8th house and Scorpio. So if you want to dive more into that kind of atmosphere, check out Patreon, which is always linked down below if you're interested. But that is kind of all that I have on the topic right now. So this was a little rant inspired by my girl Britney Spears. So free Britney, hope everything works out well here, because that is just a fucked situation and that girl deserves some justice. Misogyny in that, just family from the men, I just was like, how are we like not seeing this before as a problem? But yeah, that's again a different video. I got a lot to talk about. So if you want to hear more about my thoughts on that, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a later video. Peace.